Larry, apart from a 13-year gap in L.A., we are at the home of the Raiders since 1966. But how much longer will they be playing football in Oakland, California? Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And they're able to get this one across the 35. For Murray in the wild card game against Houston, just 39 yards on 12 carries. So now you look at the season all told, just under 800 yards, Charles. He did score 12 touchdowns. What did you think of his year?
I thought it was an excellent year for him. And I know 1,000 yards is the benchmark. But remember, he didn't play in all of the games. And Oakland became a passing-type team with Derek Carr throwing the ball around. But I think Latavius Murray is clearly a #1 running back in the NFL. And with those 3 Pro Bowlers in front and the offensive line, I think the future is bright.
Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Offensive starters now. Charles, what about Latavius Murray?
You know how you and I talked about players under the radar sometimes? Latavius Murray definitely qualifies as one of those players. And then you look up, and he's pressing 1,000 yards every year.
Here's Carr, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Cam Chancellor is one of the best safeties in the game, but with his linebacker size, that allows the team to use him wherever they want to make plays.
Throwing his Carr on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here's the Raider punter Marquette King to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and it's third down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
Now it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. Midfield to the 45.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to...
Beautiful. Great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
Here's Wilson to throw. The grab made by Kearse over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. End up losing 3. And now it's third down. First down marker at the 31. It's third down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
15 yards through the air on a first down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always some...
He rifles one that's intercepted. And it's the former Seahawk, Malcolm Smith. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. And we'll see Oakland take over on offense in a second. And I know these Raiders don't want to hear it, but it's kind of the talk of the town. Such a promising season, looking so good. Carr gets injured, and then they just fall off and lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, in fact, when we brought it up, they told us they didn't want to talk about it. Because for them, they just want to look forward. Great year last year. They know about the injuries, Carr getting hurt, etc. But for them, the focus is now, and they think that they can be not just a playoff team again this year, but a Super Bowl contender.
And the last time they were in the playoffs, they were a Super Bowl contender back in 2003 when they fell short in Super Bowl 37. Bobby Wagner in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it. A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Carr now to throw. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. They needed 17, and they got 18. A defensive lapse there, and it's a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? Important times. Because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Carr, throw left side to the tight end Walford. A gain of 6 there on first. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And going last drive, then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle.
Well, partner, tough loss for the Seattle Seahawks on the road at Atlanta in the playoffs. But Doug Baldwin, you know he's always going to compete. 5 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. Try to keep them in the game.
Earlier, you were talking about the offense running through Russell Wilson. Doug Baldwin and the wideouts, how do you see that going forward for Seattle?
Well, I think that they are well-equipped there. They have to get Tyler Lockett back. He was injured late in the season. But Baldwin is a top-level receiver, finally getting the respect that he deserves. Jermaine Kearse is still around. Obviously, Paul Richardson came on late in the season. They have plenty of targets out there. They may go for one later in the draft, but I don't think it's a priority.
You know, Charles, for Graham, so much concern concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle.
And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches.
65 catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too. Second down following the incompletion. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
On first down, Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And this one's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it's third down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They'll try to run with Rawls. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action, to bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Procise. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Now whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So Wilson will head to the sideline, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. 30, the 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. After the interception, here's Wilson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you...
We ready? Red 18. Red 18. Zebra. Alert.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. That'll bring up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store.
We ready?
From the gun, it's Carr. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
We ready?
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Not only was that a 3-and-out, it was their 3rd straight incompletion on this drive, and they didn't even think about trying to run the football. Now they have to give it up.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Wilson to throw. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They got 6 out there. Throwing is Wilson. He's got Curse. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Wilson on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 3rd and 2. Now Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Wilson will throw again. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out now come the Seahawks. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt. Pressure. He's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Carr going to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion.
All right, here we go.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And now another one thrown incomplete. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And that brings up 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And wow, fortunately, he was able to get it back, but it's left his guys in a bit of a hole here. They're backed up deep to start this drive. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
This will be caught just inside the 10. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. And now the ball's out. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. The 40. 20. 10. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big time.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught inside the 5. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
Someone really wanted to be in the lead here because that's a heck of a gamble, isn't it? You're down 1, you kick it, you got a tie ball game. Instead, they fake it. And I keep coming back to this every time I see it. Remember, if you're faking an extra point now, the ball snapped at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, you're giving up 13 yards as opposed to just lining up at the 2 and saying you're going to go for 2.
You're running a big play, lots of yardage for 1 extra point. That's a heck of a gamble, but it paid off in this case.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Shift together here from the D-line. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And, oh, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Mike Morgan in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
And get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean, but in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Crabtree with it over the middle, and he's brought down after a good game. That one goes for 24 yards.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the stick.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Well, so they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one, it's pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. They can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back now in the East Bay. And we've got a Danny here. A one-point game as we begin the fourth. Second and goal to go now. Again, it's Rawls. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
I know.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Here's Wolford over the middle. It's a gain of 21 that time, and it'll give the Raiders a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
To throw, it's Carr. He was looking for Crabtree that time, and it's fourth down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mario Edwards in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And they're going to go soft on the corners. On first and 10, it's Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Smith. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's second down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Time starting to run out here in the fourth. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Clive Walford, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And no sweat. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot. Great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Mario Edwards coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Wilson, he gets it to Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. Wilson to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And give them 5 yards there, and it's enough. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And as the 4th quarter winds down here, we're all even.
And no one wants this game to extend. They want to go ahead and win it right now.
Throwing now is Wilson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now Wilson. It's caught on the right side. Williams. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And tough starting field position here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Here we go. Hey, we go rally. Rally. Okay, here we go.
Now after the eye in. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. Oh, and you can forget overtime. This is going to be a safety in the final minute of the game. Oh, my. And I don't know that I've ever seen a tie game decided in the final seconds because of a safety.
It's just an absolute disaster, Brandon. You're thinking you're going to at least get yourself to overtime. But how about this defense? They said, we're going to take matters into our own hands, and this will be an unbelievable victory if it holds up. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.